People liked you better when you were bothered. Yeah, people liked you better when you were bothered. And this is a new deck, so people might not like the new you, or the fact that you're unbothered is really reflecting where they are actually bothered. I feel like, honestly, you being bothered gave them a chance to, like, not self-reflect. So now that you aren't, it's like really confronting. I feel like you're making people really uncomfortable with the fact that you are so comfortable. And I feel like this could even be involving certain relationships that, like, really liked when you didn't speak up. I feel like the fact that you're speaking, it's triggering. I feel like people, literally the Knight of Swords right here, I feel like you could have been really impulsive with your words in your past. Maybe you, like, didn't think before you spoke, so it just, it fed people. I feel like your inconsistency in your past was something that people maybe felt satisfied by. So you could have been dealing with people that were heavily narcissistic. They taught you how to take back your voice, and that's exactly what you're doing right now. So this deck is so pretty. So pretty. This is what it's called. I don't know if this is like reversed, but anyways, I feel like you've changed a lot from how they used to perceive you. I feel like you made people uncomfortable before. I feel like this is another level of uncomfortability you're triggering in people because you don't care anymore. I feel like the 10 of Wands literally to the Queen of Wands. You used to carry the weight of their insecurity. Now that you don't, it's almost like, it's like a, what's that thing? Like a seesaw, I guess, where everything's pouring back onto them. I feel like all of that weight you were carrying, it's now on them. They're feeling the weight of maybe their words, the weight of their actions, and the weight of your inaction. I feel like people maybe are used to you saying things. They're used to you taking charge or being impulsive. And now that you're not, now that you have, like, mastered yourself, they don't like it. But I feel like you're doing exactly the right thing. I feel like this is the time of your life where you don't care if you're liked or not. You just care if you're being real. And I think that your authenticity is the most triggering thing. The Strength card. People literally see you as, like, a master. Like, do you see how there's all this kind of, like, energy around you, but you are so centered in yourself? Like, it's almost like showing people their lack of. So because you maybe were impulsive in the past, it didn't make them feel bad about themselves. It made them feel like they could point the finger. But now there's no finger to point, and it's just highlighting exactly how maybe unstable they really are, or how much pain they're actually in, because I feel like you getting into it with them would make them feel like less alone or less, it's like, again, your energy was feeding them. Now they're starving. People are starving. And look at this card. How they're, like, digging into this bowl of soup, but the 10 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, you're now building something that's out of reach of past people of your life. This could be family members, past lovers, past friendships, but it's like people have ripped your heart to shreds. I feel like that's literally the message, is people have ripped your heart to shreds, that you now are, like, I don't want to say invincible because everybody's human, but, like, they've created a superhuman. This is, like, the energy you give now is just, like, really intimidating because of how unbothered you are. Your energy is literally like a drug. Like, people maybe feel hooked on your energy very quickly. You could even notice that, like, if you meet somebody new, they're, like, very drawn to you. Even, like, in group settings, you could notice that, like, you attract a lot of attention, and not, like, in a weird way. I just feel like you may be the center of it without realizing it. And I feel like it's because your energy speaks louder than you do. And then you could be somebody maybe that, like, is a little bit more shy, or maybe you have, like, a softer voice, or just kind of, I don't know, there's something softer about the way you express yourself versus how you actually feel to people. Like, you could project an energy where people feel like something deeper about you, or they feel like something strong underneath the current of you, but like you don't project it that way. And I feel like that's what draws people in, is that there's just something about you. There's something about you, and when you can't fully explain something, that's when it becomes magnetic. And I feel like your energy right now is reaching a new level of magnetism where you actually do not have to try at all. You just walk into a room and people are drawn to you. Like, there's something about your energy's learning how to project itself as its most authentic self. And there's going to be projection. There's going to be people that, you know, are triggered by you, but there's going to be so many more people that are just like captivated by you. And I feel like that's one of your greatest superpowers in life, is just how you're able to effortlessly allow your energy to like speak for you. I feel like you're going through a massive spiritual awakening. And I feel like you could be feeling like you're on the edge of complete like darkness. Like, I feel like you can't see the path ahead of you, and I feel like that is a part of your spiritual path, is to completely trust in your spirit. I feel like you're somebody that has always been very like spiritually attuned, where you could have felt like you've always seen things deeper than maybe people around you, or you felt things deeper than people around you, but you learn to mask. I feel like you've learned to mask yourself to like fit in. And what this message is that your soul is reaching its like breaking point. It's literally screaming at you like, I'm tired of trying to please other people. I'm tired of trying to look and be somebody that I'm not. And I think that you could even be experiencing like a really strong feeling of grief for a past version of yourself that you didn't know like was going to go through this, or was going through that at that time. I don't know if that made sense. I just feel like you're somebody that has gone through so much that it got to a point where you learn to like detach from yourself to like survive. And I feel like your soul is like waking up from that detachment and starting to see life clearly. I feel like you're starting to see yourself clearly. It feels like, you know, the feeling where you're not fully aware, or like, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean, where it just feels like you are so conscious of your own self in your mind. You are conscious of everything that you are thinking. You understand. You just see. You're seeing. And I feel like what you're seeing is causing a lot of grief. It's causing a lot of like contemplation, maybe even like going back on certain things and seeing them with new eyes. I feel like you're going through like a really big ego death, where a past version of you that found comfort in your ego is no longer comfortable there. It just feels like, I don't know, it's making you like, I almost feel like nauseous, like physically nauseous. The moon card. I feel like there's so much that is coming up for you right now, that it's like hard to even bear. Maybe you have nobody even to like talk to this about. You could feel very isolated, or like there's minimal people that are around you that would understand this. And I feel like that has a lot of purpose too, because nobody's meant to truly understand you better than you. And I feel like, again, for how detached you've been, that is the point. You're meant to see yourself. And I feel like what you're seeing right now, I just, like, the only word I have is a lot. I feel like what you're seeing is a lot. And I feel like you could even be thinking, like, I don't see the path ahead of me. And I feel like with your, like, ability to see, it's not with, like, your physical eyes and seeing a clear path. It's that spiritual lens of trusting yourself. And you know what they say about, like, destruction can come new creation? I don't know. I think I just made that up. But, like, I feel like with what is being destroyed, something new is about to take its place. Something is being reborn where it couldn't have been unless you, like, dismantled this past self. I feel like you're starting to see what you want, who you want to be. Maybe they feel like out of reach, but they're actually in you. They're in you, but I almost feel like there's this desire to walk away from something, but not walking away blindly, walking away with that new lens of life that you have. I feel like you've gained a lot of wisdom throughout your journey, where it's almost like you're being called to use that right now. And I just feel like when people go through like very deep spiritual awakenings in life, it's not for no reason. It's because your soul has something to offer. I literally got like freaking 5 phone calls during this end of this reading, so that could be significant. Like, there's been multiple moments where your soul has been like on the edge of waking up, but it's like this time feels different, and it doesn't feel like what you would think waking up feels like. It feels like you're actually like falling into an abyss, and that is the point of like no return, where you can't go back to who you were. There's only creating who you truly are. And as like dark and depressing as it feels, this is like the most beautiful point you can reach. It's like finding beauty in that uncertainty, in the mess, in the chaos. And I feel like this is like, this card really does feel like what this energy is like looking into the void, but knowing that your soul, it has been like waiting for you. Like the vibrancy of this, like the contrast of this card. Yeah, that's you.